Hello YouTube, Ping Ponage here, and we have a special video for you today. We are going to settle the matter on the Phoenix update, as in we are going to talk about the pros, the cons, all that great stuff in one nice long video where it's really like a coffee talk video. This is a video to put on while you're doing chores or when right before you're about to sleep at night. Okay, it's that kind of video. But I've really been cruising social media a lot these past couple weeks, and I've been really sad to see a lot of the things I've seen there. There's so much fighting and bickering going on right now that I think the community needs a voice, a champion to bring everyone back together. All right, and into a happy little circle again, all right? Because this community is not big enough to divide and separate, okay? This community is small, and if we want to keep this game alive, which I know everyone does, especially the people watching this video, then we got to come together. Okay, and so we're going to really talk about the pros and cons in this update and my perspectives of it, obviously. A lot of people have been asking me what I think about it, and here it is. Okay. Pro number one, my favorite, early aggression. This game is so much more action-packed in the early piece of it, all right? You can get so many kills in the beginning, and you can be aggressive without penalty. Let's watch my friend, competition partner, bestie right now, calling the 5, go at it against a really good team here. Alright, so he's up against a stack squad who knows exactly who he is, so they're really trying to have some fun here and target him in a funny kind of way, alright? Now make sure to give my friend Colin the 5 a follow. He just started streaming 2 days ago, okay? Give him some love. Great player and hilarious at the same time, right? Also, he doesn't mute his randoms he plays with. He plays solo queue a lot because he doesn't like to stack squads, and I can totally understand that feeling. I think the coolest thing about watching a stream, he doesn't mute the randoms he's with and actually plays with them and interacts with them, which you don't see really any streamers do, particularly the high level, skill level streamers. So really fun to watch.
I think if I just sit here and just farm kills.
There's just so much more action in the early game, and it's really because of the redeploy system. Within the first couple zone closes, or a few zone closes, you can really just redeploy and die at will without very much consequence, and as long as you have one other person on your team alive. And so what this favors and what you should do and how you should play is aggressive as early as you can. Grab one gun, don't grab a full auto, just grab a gun and just go fight. Get into the action, have some fun, get that one kill, because it doesn't really matter if you die, to be honest. Particularly in this early piece of the game where no one's playing extremely coordinated yet, okay? But we can encourage a less try-hard kind of environment by me encouraging you all just to go in solo and just have some fights, all right? You don't need to stack it in there early, couple zone closes. Just have some fun. Go out there, fight a guy. You die, no big deal. Just go redeploy. As long as you got one person who's willing to stay alive, right? Then you're A-okay. So enjoy it. Have some fights. Get into some situations you wouldn't normally get in. It's just so much fun being able to do that, okay? And that was never the case. Honestly, when I play the Evolving and the Classic Squads map, I have the opposite mentality. Knowing that I'm usually the highest skill player on my team in public games, like if I die, usually the game is over. So I always have to tell myself, don't die, I can't die. I'm not allowed to die because I'm always being targeted in those classic and evolving squads. It's like as soon as, a whole team sees me, they're like, okay, we gotta kill his ass, and they all charge me. So if I die, I know my whole team goes down. So it's the opposite mentality, and now it doesn't matter. Just I get to go in and just have fun and just go into a fight. Now, tip number 2. What this really also favors is independence team independence, as in you don't need to play as a team for the first few zone closes. It's honestly wonderful. For literally 2 years, it has been engraved into my mind that we now have to play as a team always. And so, even in squads, everyone is sweating hard these days in the evolving squads. Everyone is playing like mid-level, low-level competition, even in evolving squads. And even classics, I see some of y'all go in there and just stack it and play like hardcore team coordination. Like that's getting too serious. All right, this makes the game a lot more lax, and you don't have to pod anywhere near your team. I encourage you right now, when you go in to play Phoenix, to go in and just hot drop or pod drop next to another team of 3. Just go for it. Especially if you're a good player, just go 1v3 against a whole team at the start, so that you can just have some fun, practice some different things, get into certain different situations you wouldn't normally get into, and then you learn, right, from failing. Humans learn from failing, and just do it. Have fun. That's what this game is all about. Don't sweat it. Stack on your teammates, right? Like, it's just not as fun when people do that. There's a reason the term stacking came about in this game, because it's just not fun. It's necessary in many cases if you want to win against other good coordinated squads, but it's not really a fun thing, right? And so I love that now I don't need to pod anywhere near my teammates. And I learned that after this game I was playing. I was like, you know what? Why am I near my partners? I want to go out and have some fun.
Yeah, the SPR is OP now. I've been carrying that as a shotgun flash.
So again, I would encourage you in the first 2 zone closes to really just play on your own and get into situations you wouldn't normally do in evolving and classic squads, okay? It will help you become better as a player, and you'll have more fun doing it, okay? And my friend Uzi Goosey used to tell me this all the time. It's like, you don't learn if you're just playing in a team and evolving in squads. But if you really want to win in evolving squads, you pretty much had to play against a team if you're playing at a sweaty time of the day when you're playing against full competition squads, all right? So know that here, that kind of thing doesn't exist, at least not yet, okay? And I don't think that it will anytime soon, just based upon how the map is set up and the mechanics are, okay? So I really love the early aggression that you can do and the independence you can have, all right? But I encourage you, and call this a tip, to be aggressive early and be independent to grow as a player skill-wise. Okay, now a huge win for this patch is not only the early aggression, but the increase of PvE. I always thought personally, and I never really made it vocal, was that PvE, player versus environment, needed to be upped in this game, because this is a social game. It's about the friendships you make, the people you talk to. A lot of people aren't just in it to just go in and compete against people. Some people love player versus environment. Like most video games that are successful are player versus environment games. So the more you have any kind of environmental gameplay in your map, it reduces the level of competitiveness. And so for the people who are not doing well competitively, it gives them something to enjoy, and that's a huge deal in terms of long-term retention for a video game. Okay, so here this team I was fighting, there were 2 teams apparently, but this team I was fighting, like, clearly there were a whole bunch of people who died to these bots here, and I got murdered the first time I went against the bots. My friends didn't tell me what I was up against, and I ran into like a room of 6 of them just unloading on me. The bots in this are really awesome. I love how difficult they are. So you actually have to try and get them in a 1v1 to make it clean, so you don't get third-partied by a team while you're doing it. And I don't know if the rewards are really worth it, but the money you get is amazing, so you can upgrade whatever weapon you have to a red weapon if you get all the monies from it. So I love that there's player versus environment. So player versus environment here would be, yes, the red bots, that's obvious. But what's less obvious is that there is more PvE in the form of shopping and buying, right? And that's a big deal. I know a lot of my friends who just love shopping in classic squads and evolving squads and even in competition. Like, they love just going around, picking up everything they can, organizing their inventory, helping out their teammates with loot, like giving them ammo, giving them things they need. And so there's a lot of people like that. And now with the buy system, the supply drop, and the class system, there's a lot more to do than just focusing on getting kills and all of that kind of thing, okay? So I love that there's more player versus environment. Now, I'm kind of a person that just charges in, tries to find a fight, but I can appreciate the player versus environment aspect because I know a lot of people will appreciate it, and I just want everyone to be happy, okay? So I think what's interesting is that I should have told you that I was probably the most skeptical about this patch. I was intentionally keeping very quiet because I honestly was not happy about all the changes that were coming to the Phoenix update. Like, I wasn't happy pretty much about every change there was. I didn't want this game changed at all, to be honest. I liked it as is. And I didn't make that vocal because I didn't want to bring any more negativity to the community than it already had, because there's already those diehard people who are saying, oh, I'm quitting the game, or, things like that. Or, I don't like this, I don't like that. And trust me, if you're one of those people who is watching this video, I was in your camp. I felt the same way. I just didn't say anything because I know my voice is loud, and if I started saying it, I felt like it would tip the scales even more, and I wanted to give it a fair shot first. And here it is, what you're watching. This video you're watching is my third day essentially of playing this, and I love it, and I still love it to this day. Okay, so if I can turn around and enjoy this, I know that you can. And when I say you, I mean you, just like me, who loved the original game you fell in love with, and now this is no longer resemblant of what that is or was. But hey, like, it's new, but it's still really enjoyable. And trust me when I say that I do think these pros will outweigh these cons later, okay? And so bear with me here. We've only made it through a few pros, but the PvE is a big one. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this PvE is going to make a lot of people who didn't enjoy this as much enjoy this more, okay, this whole game period. And yes, it's not everyone's into this whole buy system and all that, but trust me when I do believe there will be a lot more people who enjoy it versus a lot, less people that don't enjoy this kind of system. So the PvE is good for the community as a whole because it gives some people things to do when they might not have been getting many kills in like the classic and evolving map, okay? And we need people for this game to thrive. PvE is a win in my book, a big one, increase in PvE. Now, the next major win for this game is that there's just more action and it's fun to watch, as in it's fun to watch a streamer play. Look right here. There's just so much more fights going on. Longer fights. The game feels longer, which is important when you have to turn on a virtual reality headset, put it on, wait for a lobby. The games are longer. There's more action, which means it's funner to watch. It's good for content creators because there's going to be, viewers are going to be more entertained, and when there's more viewers for content creators, it's much, much healthier for the game, okay? What happened with Breachers, the game Breachers? Everyone thought Breachers was going to kill Population 1. Well, what happened? Breachers was boring as hell to watch someone else play. And that essentially resulted in the game dying. Games in virtual reality cannot survive based off competition alone. And if Veil and Breachers was not a good example of that, there's no me convincing you if you can already be convinced from that. There's no other game that will put as much money into the competitive scene as Veil did, okay? They had a huge money dump, and yet it still did not give virtual reality the competitive spark it needed to become that esport that you're thinking of with all the other desktop shooters, okay? So what do we have to live with? We have to live with virtual reality is a fun social avenue, right? And so we need people to watch, because if there's no one wants to watch, the social piece of it will die, and then the game will die as well. And so why am I not worried anymore that this game is a copy of Contractors or is copying the style of Contractors? Well, I actually think this game is doing that style better than Contractors is. I played Contractors in the beta, and I was really gave it a healthy shot, and I thought maybe it might be the Pop One killer, but now I'm safe to say that it is and will not be the Population One killer. It is honestly not fun to watch someone stream that game. Right? I've watched the high level pro-ish players, and if there is a pro system now, but like I've watched the highly skilled players on Twitch, and I've tried playing it myself, and I gave it a fair shot at watching, and it's just not fun to watch. It's fun to play. Contractors is fun to play, and so is Breachers, but it's not fun to watch. Look at this action you're getting here, like long fights. I've been fighting for like minutes here, it feels like, and it's fun to watch. The other games are not like that. The graphics, the detail, the environment just looks so much more lively. The cartoonish feel versus the PUBG kind of feel that Contractors has just is not as fun to watch, period. And this is just more encapsulating. I guarantee you that over time, Contractors will lose that initial burst of interest, and then this game will resurge if it isn't resurging already over Contractors. Breachers had a much larger initial burst in excitement. There were like hundreds and hundreds of people watching like the Twitch kind of stuff earlier on, and now you'll be lucky to see anyone ever stream Breachers, all right? Even though I'm sure people are still competing in. So know that the fun to watch piece of this game is really fun, and you're getting a lot more streamers now than you ever saw before, because people are just having fun in the game, all right? And they know that it's fun to be a streamer, and this is a fun game to watch, period. And that's what it is, all right? More action, fun to watch, good mechanics. Gotta love this game. The social piece of this game has lived for 3 years plus, and I do think it'll go until they make a new one of this, or just virtual reality dies in general. Okay, this game will be long lasting until Big Box decides to shut the servers down. All right. So if you are a supporter of this game, like you buy skins, thank you. I appreciate you, because I need to buy more skins myself to support this game. I had not bought any skins in a long time, to be honest with you, because I thought the game was dying. I'll be honest. I'm now going to start buying skins, like for real. I was trying to yesterday. I had some buy issues in Steam. But anyways, great game, fun to watch. Means likely going to be a long-term life going forward in the future for this game, so long as servers live, that kind of thing. Okay. All right, here's a really interesting one. Team stacking. Okay, I don't feel nearly as bad about stacking lobbies anymore, as in playing with my friends in the Phoenix update, as I do in Classic and Evolving Squads. Why? Because in the Classic and Evolving Squads, if I play with any of my friends, and most of my friends are competition players, then the enemies have no chance. They waited 10 minutes to get into a game, and they die within half a second. And I feel legitimately bad. So honestly, in pubs, I always have to turn my sweat level or my skill level down like substantially, especially if I'm playing with good friends. And so like it's not fun for me, because I can't really play the way I want to play. And it's definitely not fun for my enemies, who just die and they wasted a whole bunch of time. So I feel a lot less bad now about it, because they can redeploy, and they usually don't get wiped. Like teams don't usually get wiped until about like the third zone close, all right? And even then, like if they keep dying in the middle to late game, they get a weapon. You get a PX4, in the middle zone closes, and you get like an MP9 in the end zone closes. And those are still formidable weapons. You can still do work with them, right? So I don't feel as bad. Now, maybe I should, and this is why I think I need Gel's input. Like, are you that person who gets stomped by, the stacked teams right now in this Phoenix preview? If you are, in the comments below, tell me, do you feel as bad about it, like getting stomped in this Phoenix update, than you would have in the Classic or Evolving? And be honest about it, right? I mean, sure, it's not fun dying to the same person 6 times in a row, but at least you had a chance to fight again, right? I mean, that's the way I see it. For example, I know from the past 3 days that I've killed like the same person maybe 6 times in a single lobby, but they might have killed me once actually. And trust me when I say I get clipped 20% of the time I die in a public game. Like I find myself on TikTok or or something like that. Like I get clipped 20% of the time I die. So I think there's people who will still appreciate killing me once even though I killed them 6 times. I think that still exists, all right? I see it still for other pro players on Facebook people are talking about. So I think that team stacking is not nearly as bad because of the redeploy system, and that you get a fighting chance no matter what. With time to kills in this game, you only need a PX4 and an MP9 to get a kill, okay? And so it's like you got a fighting chance at all times, and so you get multiple chances, which is good when it takes so long to get into a game in virtual reality, because you got to turn on the headset, put on your controllers. You know, it takes a setup time versus a desktop computer, which is much faster. So I enjoy this element, but please do give me feedback if you think it's the opposite, like you feel the opposite, as in the stacking is worse, okay? Alright, so we typically do tips in these kinds of videos, right? So I'm going to jump back because the time of this video is now on me doing a solo drop, right? In the beginning, play solo for the first zone or two, right? If I wasn't clear. But it's about time to start playing as a team, probably after the second zone close, okay? And if you are up against a team that is actually playing like together and very coordinated, then you probably might have to jump that up a zone, or if your teammates in, you know, serious trouble and getting farmed. But generally, you can play solo for the first 2 zone closes, and then it's about time to start playing as a team, right? So make sure you capitalize off those 2 zone closes, force fights. All right, so now class customization, another pro. Class customization allows a whole variety of new ways to think about your gameplay. It makes different builds viable. It makes different weapons and item customization viable. So it makes it a lot more complicated than me just saying, like I usually do in my videos, oh, here's a tier list for the weapons, choose these weapons, that's it, y'all. And so I'm gonna have a lot more fun making these videos like, okay, if you're choosing this class, this is how you're gonna want to play to maximize it to its fullest potential. And oh, you probably want this kind of weapons because this matches this kind of play style. We won't get into that in this video, but know that it allows a whole new layer of complexity to how you can play in an optimal manner, okay? So there, again, for the classes, if you are not aware, there is the scout, the medic, and the tank. The scout essentially ups your speed and your fling. The medic gives you a better revive, but it makes your shield shakers like much faster. And then the tank gives you, amongst other things, a more build when you kill an enemy, which is actually really amazing if you know how to use build to its fullest potential. So all 3 classes have different benefits, and if you really know how to utilize them, they also have different ways you can play. It makes the games play different if you're playing optimally, all right? And I know already that I hear everyone giving me different opinions on each one, and I love that because there's a whole new depth and layer to this game now, all right? And so I think it's fun. But it's too much to talk for me to talk about in this video. We'll put a whole nother video on how you should play for each of those classes, weapon, optimization, and all that kind of stuff, all right? Now, know that this video obviously is skimping over all the basic details of the Phoenix update. If you're looking for the, the basics on, this and that, and how many zone closes, all those kind of things, the names of all the things, the timings and all that, Radfox put out a great video, I think yesterday, on just the details of the Phoenix update. She was in the playtest, I was not, so she'll have a lot better info on that than I would, so I'm not even bothering with a video on that. And so we're really talking more about the style of gameplay this is versus what we have been or have had, all right? So again, here is that class customization. Just if you're curious, my style is the medic with an op. Obviously, the AWP op is overpowered as hell, and it was before this map, but I think it's way more overpowered in this current map because this map is generally flatter. Okay, there's not a lot of mountains and hills. You see a little bit here, but it's a lot of long distance fights until you get inside a building. But even then, since everyone is scared to go into a building because there is no footsteps when someone walks, essentially, or very minimal footsteps, it makes the close range too dangerous. It's like you have to have your guard up at all times when you get in close range. So what's happening naturally is that more people are fighting in the long range, and guess what? Ops are OP in the long range, as everyone knows. Okay, so I love the AWP for obvious reasons, but know that this my playstyle is medic and op, and I saw that from Scanter playing, and it was very obvious that that was a strong playstyle just from watching him do it. All right, so know that balance is not necessarily a thing in this current patch, and so if you hadn't realized that, I've been talking about a con, and a con is that the map seems to favor more long distance fighting, and that's two reasons. One is just the map is generally flatter. Yes, there are more buildings, but it's so easy to get on top of a building and just start opping someone. So know that the map is generally flat, but not only that, the no footsteps in the walking distance or the walking speed makes people more timid to go in for the close range fights until they really think they can win it. And so what happens is you see more long range play, which makes the AWP even more overpowered as it is. I'm not sure whether they will change the idea or the sound that you get from the default speed, which is walking. In the playtest, so if you're not aware, this is a whole thing. In the playtest, when someone walked, they would still make sound, okay? But now, when this update went live, they made it so that there is no sound in the default speed, which is walking, okay? And that was intentional. Bagel Bytes, the developer, said so. They just kind of did it. And I think they did it intentionally because they know that professionals are listening for every single footstep in the close range. So I think this was an intentional nerf to try and lower the skill gap in the close range. And in a sense, they were right in that it does so, because now I have no idea what the hell is happening in the close range. It's all purely visual feedback. Whereas before, I could hear a footstep, I could track multiple enemies, so I kind of know what's going on. It made it more tactical, it made it more interesting. And now it's just like your senses have to be heightened at all times in the close range. It makes it stressful, honestly. I'm not a fan of it. I hope they revert it, and maybe by the time you're watching this video, they've already fixed it, okay, when this game went live. Maybe. We'll see, all right? But I'm not sure. Anyways, that is another con. There is no footsteps in the close range. And so it makes the close range less fun because people are less engaging in the close range fights less often. So it becomes a long range AWP is dominant kind of game, all right? When footsteps get added, I think that'll balance out the op more, because I think people will get into the close range fights more. They won't be as scared to go in the close range fights, okay? Just the payoff is not worth it. It's too risky when you can just sit a mile away with an op. But if you have footsteps with walking, then it makes it so it's more skill based, and then it's a little more safer if you know how to utilize sound to its fullest potential. Okay, so another con. Just an example of why the AWP is overpowered now in this new map is because not only is the map flatter, what I mean by flatter is it's more open. You see this guy out who's in the open right here. There's really nowhere for him to go. If I sit on my building, if I could sit through the zone close, there's nowhere he can go unless he has like 30 build. And that's the problem. Build is not plentiful in this current meta as well. And even if you're the tank build, it's very hard to get the kind of build you had in the last kind of game modes we had. Okay, like 100 build, which is probably what you're going to need to cross that huge distance of map with someone who's got like an M60 and an AWP pointed at you, right? And so it's not only a combination of the no sound, but it's just that there's more open area. And there's less build, all right, which makes the AWP even more overpowered than it already was. And no, don't tell me that glare or tint you get from the scope that you can see the opper a mile away is a nerf. I really don't even consider that a thing, because like pro oppers don't hard scope like for longer than half a second anyways. If you watch me op, most of my op shots are like near quick scope speed. And you're gonna tell me that 2.2 second glint is going to help you save your life? No, I don't think so. And so, yeah, AWP is still overpowered as sin. It always was, always has been, but it's even more so in this current map. So that is a con in my opinion. But I think that there is plenty of potential for it to be fixed because this was just the preview. They're just testing things out, right? And so if Big Box, if you're watching this, you have to add sound back to the footsteps. That'll help. But not only that, you might want to make build a little bit more plentiful because, yeah, the AWP is that strong right now with how everything's going on. It's very easy to get a gold AWP very fast after the first fight or two, okay? And gold AWPs, if you don't know, they have like built-in aimbot within them. Gold ops hit better than, for example, a white op. It's very, very noticeable. That's why all of a sudden you realize you're hitting your shots and you got a couple headshots here and there. You're like, whoa. That's because the gold op has a little bit of aimbot built in. It's so easy to get a gold op. A red one, not so much, but a gold one, it's actually pretty quick. Honestly, I can get it usually within the first zone close and a half, and I've got one by then if the fights are going well. I'm not sure if we have to actually consider this a pro, but I love that team play is still a thing, right? I told you to play solo for the first 2 zones, but in the last 2-3 zone closes, it's back to the good old-fashioned we got to work together kind of mentality, all right? And I love that. It's like you get the best of both worlds. You get the early aggression, play solo, and then you get the, okay, time to work as a team now because if we don't, we're in trouble kind of thing. And so it's got the best of both worlds here. I didn't think it could be done. Like, I really had zero expectations going in, and I really had like not much hope for this, but the good news is that the balance is just superb of, okay, beginning is independent play and the end is team play, so it just makes it fun, period, right? And you'll notice that in this game, even like, oh, I was playing like doing my own thing in the beginning of this game, and then now it's time to team fight, and so look, I'm working with my team, we're starting to communicate again. It's really cool. Like, I really like it. So there is still a reason to queue up. But the good news is, if you are playing solo, you can still play solo and have a blast. So know that team play obviously is beneficial for many reasons, but you can enjoy the solo experience as well, which is really cool. Alright, now this next topic might actually help you. So this next con we're going to talk about is really lag, but I'm generalizing because what I mean by lag is this game now seems to have a much harder strain on your internet, but also, most importantly, your computer. So if you play PC VR, for example, you might have noticed that you've been getting some lag spikes or just choppiness or whatever you want to call it. The game just hasn't been running as well, okay? And I noticed this for myself. Yes, there is server lag. That's one thing. Like, the big box servers seem to lag here and there. They spike, you might get a bad server, and then, it seems like spike here and there. It just seems like people are teleporting a little bit. That still happens on occasion. Not as bad as on the first day or two, but know that there are still issues, right? And so, for example, here, I had to reset because the bug I got is one that I haven't seen anyone complain about yet. It gets to a point where I can't reload unless I empty my clip. So I have to unload all the ammunition in my clip before I'm able to reload. And the only fix for it is restarting the game, but then it just happens within a game or two anyways. So there's still issues, and it seems to be game related. And so it's not lag, what I mean by server, there's just issues with the game through PC VR. I'm sure there are for standalone too. I know people are complaining left and right about various things that are hard to pinpoint. But know that for one fix, you're going to probably have to do is turn down your graphics. So if you're a PC VR player and you were run on like max graphics that your computer could handle, you're probably going to have to tone it down a notch to be able to run just as smooth as you did before. I certainly had to. I lowered the resolution on mine so that it could be smoother for when I stream and play. But know that you can do a few things. So if you need this kind of help, the first thing you can do is lower your resolution. And you can do that in Oculus desktop app, or you can do it in Steam VR, if you're PC VR, of course. The second thing you can do is lower your frame rate, but I don't recommend that because that gives you the competitive advantage. The third thing you can do, and I dare not recommend this if you don't know what you're doing, is use the Oculus debug tool to lower your bitrate, essentially the data transfer that happens during the cable. That helped out one person, and my friend told me it works. Colin the 5 told her from a friend that she did it and it helped her. So know that there are ways around it. Perhaps we need to make a whole video on this kind of thing. But know that you're probably going to have to tone it down a notch, because even my, Lester Sai, who was playing with me in this video, he was having serious lag issues that he just couldn't figure out, and it could be that kind of thing, computer related, okay? So there are issues, but, this was just a preview weekend. For a preview weekend, honestly, this is very, very good for like a game development company. Okay, I've seen a lot worse in other games that have a lot more staff and a lot bigger money to work with. Okay, so let's give Big Box some good old props for doing this preview weekend really well. I played every single day this Phoenix game, at least an hour or two. I am honestly having a really great time, and not just because it's new. It does feel fresh, but it's because I actually enjoy the game mode. Like, I'm actually enjoying the game mode, and that is so strange. I played competition for essentially 2.5 years straight, and when I say competition, I mean only scrims, like competitive scrims, or actual competitions. Like, I really didn't play much pubs, and that's why people look at my level, they go, Pink Pony's only level 62, what the hell? To be honest with you, this is my second account. I have a Quest account that is level 60, when 60 was the cap. But still, like, for how long I've been playing, how much I play, I don't have a lot of experience because I don't play a lot of pubs. But I am having so much fun in this that I don't even care about competition right now. Like, I've said it on stream, but like, I'm having more fun here than I probably am going to have in comp, which is just crazy. So long as I'm playing with friends, and so I'm really enjoying this. How long will this last? I don't know, but I can tell you that I'm probably not going to get bored of this for at least a couple months, all right? And that alone is a huge win, because I never played pubs, okay? So this is huge. I hope you're all enjoying this as much as me. But just know that I was probably I was totally anti-patch team, like camp, whatever you want to call it, before I actually got in and played it for a full session on a given day, and then I converted to now a pro patch camp, okay? And if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm totally a fan of, I like the old, I fell in love with it, but now I'm a converted person. I love this update. Get used to it. I hadn't played Evolving or Classics, obviously, in this past 3 days, and I don't plan on it. I was going to be so pissed if the Evolving map was going to be taken out of the rotation, and I'm sure many people still will be pissed if it gets taken out of the rotation, but I am not one of those people anymore. You are just going to see me playing Phoenix Update for a long time. I probably won't even touch Classic or Evolving so long as Phoenix mode is out, unless I'm playing competition or scrims, okay? So know that if I can enjoy this, I think you will as well. So all of you people who are, the naysayers, and I was in that camp too. I'm trying to tell you, I came from there. Like, give it some time. Play with friends that you enjoy playing with, and then this will be the funnest experience you will have. And play the way I was telling you too. Like, just go solo, take some fights, die a lot in the beginning, have fun with that. Like, you don't get penalized for dying really in the first 2-3-ish minutes of the game, maybe even longer than that. Probably like 5-6 minutes. You can just keep dying. Like, that's cool. Just have fun. Just let it be. They don't count your deaths in the end scoreboard, only your kills. So, don't freak out about it. And don't worry about your stats and all that crap. I can't stand anymore when people are tracking their stats. Like, for real. I haven't looked at my stats for years. And I know that's, people are going to say it's always because your stats are high. But whatever. Like, don't look at your stats. Just enjoy the game for what it is. Make friends while you're doing it. And I promise you this will be funner than the old patch, okay? And so with that, I leave you with a little bit of gameplay here, but I do hope you give it some thought. Come back into the community. Please don't leave. I can't stand when the community says, okay, leave then if you're talking about it. We're fine. We're okay without you. I don't have that mentality. If you are a long-term veteran who loved this game and played this series, please stick around, because everyone is appreciated here. This is a small community. And let's be real, this is the best gaming community there is out there, that of any gaming community that I've been to and part of in my whole life of gaming, okay? Don't leave. Enjoy the game. Try it out. Make friends. Have an open mind. And I promise you're going to be rewarded for it right here, right? Look how much fun that is, right? That early drop. I'm up in 2 seconds, y'all. It's so fun. Please engage. Don't leave. And enjoy, okay? Pink Ponage out. have a great time in this game, and have an open mind, please. I implore you.
I'm going right to just. No. Wait, somebody's behind me. Somebody's over here.
Oh my god, I got dropped. Redeployed. Got him, coach.
We got Chimkin and
We
Jelly.
got a diamond
There's a
division
fan.
here. Yeah, let's go.
Are they?
I'm so dropping.
I played with Angelic and Diamond.
Going here.
He and I together even.
Over here. This might be Angelic.
Oh, yep, you're right.
I-
Oh, he's lagging. Or I'm lagging.
Oh, he's hiding in the builds.
Where is he? I got a zone if you need it.
Right here.
I'm gonna try and hold these
Zone
guys
on
off, I
on.
guess.
Ticking on health.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold this team
He's
off
over
so
here.
you guys can work on those guys.
Oh, wait, what? He killed me so fast. Flying at you.
Oh shit. Woo!
These guys are pushing me hard.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I got one, but I'm down. Wow, I can't aim. I don't have any build. Hilarious.
I have a shit ton of zone grenades. They're back corner, back corner.
Okay. I'm ninja mode, ninja mode.
Was that their whole squad?
Nope, one squad.
No, I think Chimkin's still alive.
Damn it.
Oh.
Man, I came all in ninja and silent. I didn't get any of it.
Flash.
20 hanging on this pipe over here.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I heard people back here too.
Chimkin just redeployed back here.
They're too far away. I don't know the
That was like, he was like, no. He was like already down.
I got him on me.
There's rezzing over here.
Cracked him. Cracked him good. He's in zone. Cracked him. Cracked him. Over here. Oh, that's them over there. That's exciting.
Oh, damn.
Wait, what? I
They're
thought
in
you-
zone, yeah.
Were they? There's people to our right as well.
Oh, really?
Do we...
Damn, we
yeah,
gotta
be
take
careful
that
with
out.
that.
Yeah. Oh, oh my god, I thought you killed this one.
Yeah, let's cut.
One's in the
let's
top.
cut off the.
Push him.
Oh my god. That sucked.
Oh, no.
I picked something up Valve Index style.
Lester, can you res? Cause
One's
you-
walking
No,
on you.
I can't.
In the open, B? Oh, never mind. Oop. You got it.
Oh,
B's
the nade
in...
might kill me.
You're close. Oh, nice try. You got zone
No,
on
I
him.
no, I forgot the zone is hurting.
He's got
No, you
zone.
should have res because I
Come here, come here,
had.
come here.
Cracked him. Shit.
You need to build.
I didn't have any.
I'm gonna res.
Good, good, good. We still get guns when we res. It's awesome.
Build. He's gonna shoot me.
You got it.
Oh my god.
Use
21
flash.
flash. I'm gonna grab that zone nade and throw it. Oh my god.
31. There we go.
There it is.
Oh my
There
god.
we
That was...
go.
Oh my
Good
god.
stuff.
If
Good
they-
clutch there, Lester. And good res.
Oh man.
Nice.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna res